What does it take for one of your favorite shopping malls to turn into a death trap? Let's talk Gul Plaza fire. On January 17th, a fire broke out at inside Gul Plaza, a crowded commercial mall on the busy Muhammad Ali Jinnah Road in Karachi.
मेरा खुद 3 साल का बच्चा है। पता नहीं चल रहा है बहनों, ये उसका 2 बच्चे, अरे तीनों को कोई रास्ता नहीं हुआ है। भाई था और हमारा कज़न था, खाला साथ था यहाँ पे। 22 साल उसकी उम्र थी, फर्नीचर की दुकान पे काम करता था। वो सुबह अभी दीवार जो है ना, आपने वो बिल्डिंग देखी, हम समझते थे यहीं पर ही होगा, सारे यहीं पर ही अपना तफरी बच रहे, भाई कज़न वगैरह सब देख रहे, मगर वो भी ज़मीन ऐसा हो गई।
दुकान में काम करते थे जो लापता है।
रमजान तक में लोग बेरोजगार हो गए, लोग अंदर मार रहे, हमारी जमा पूंजी चली गई, तुम लोग अंदर बैठे हुए हो, अभी तक बाहर नहीं निकले, हमारा नुकसान बहुत बढ़ेगा। बच्चे बेरोजगार, किसके कितने माँ बाप यहाँ पे कमाते थे, आगे हमारे बाप की जमा पूंजी लुट गई, हमारे बाप की आखिरी निशानी थी।
For Karachiites or even those visiting the city, Gul Plaza is a landmark. It had about 1,200 shops selling everything from clothes to crockery and carpets to cosmetics. All of them highly inflammable materials.
When we talk about fire, we need to see what kind of fire was this and what was the look, what was the place where this fire was taking place. Gul Plaza essentially has textiles, plastics, etc., you name it, all highly flammable packing materials, plastic packing materials, cardboard boxes. So all these are, so the fire spread very quickly.
So when the fire broke out inside a flower shop, it spread rapidly and engulfed the mall within hours, because 14 out of 16 exits were blocked or obstructed by shop fit-outs and inventory, and the lights were out. Escaping the fire was not so easy. And as the blaze intensified, thick smoke filled stairwells and corridors. According to Tanveer Pasta, the chairman of Gul Plaza Business Association, the fire broke out around 10:05 p.m. and the first call to the fire brigade was made at 10:15 p.m. The fire brigade arrived at 11:05 p.m.
The nearest fire station is Lawrence Road, headquarters of Fire Brigade in Karachi. That's barely 2 kilometers or less from Gul Plaza. Technically speaking, the fire tenders should be there in less than 5 minutes. Instead, it really took a long time. Why? First of all, the center was subjected to load shedding. There was no electricity at the time. I believe the slot is between 9 to 11 or maybe more, I don't know. But there was no electricity, so there was no water in overhead tanks. And because there was no water in overhead tanks, fire tenders could not fill themselves up and rush to Gul Plaza.
But the combination of inflammable materials, blocked exits, and the lack of basic resources such as hazmat suits and firefighting foam containing the fire was an impossible task.
तमाम वसाइल दस्तयाब होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता कि हमारे पास कोई वसाइल की कमी होती है। सिर्फ पानी का शॉर्टफॉल आता है उस वक्त जब हमारी गाड़ी खाली हो जाती है। खाली होने के लिए रिफिलिंग के लिए जो हमें किसी हाइडेंट का सहारा लेना पड़ता है और वो हाइडेंट यहाँ से नीपा हमारे नियरेस्ट पड़ता है, तो इतनी दूर का जो ट्रैवल है उसके अंदर जो आग हम छोड़ के जाते हैं उससे ज़्यादा हो जाती है। देखें, टाइम इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। किसी भी आग और किसी भी रेस्क्यू इंसिडेंट के लिए टाइम इज़ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ना। जितना टाइम वेस्ट होता जाएगा वो आग हमारे कंट्रोल से बाहर होगी और उसके अंदर फंसे हुए लोग वो शहीद हो जाएंगे। तो रेस्क्यू और फायर के लिए टाइम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। देखें, रेस्क्यू की जो तरबियत है उसके अंदर उन कोलैप्स बिल्डिंग के अंदर जाने का तरीका बताया जाता है। ठीक है, वो रिसोर्सेज बाहर से स्टेयर्स हमारे पास जो स्नार्कल के ज़रिए या हमारी जो स्केलिंग लेडर्स होती है, हम उनके ज़रिए उन जगहों पर पहुंचने की कोशिश करते हैं।
Among the first on ground were workers from the edhi foundation helping evacuate people trapped in the burning building.
देखिए, हमें हफ्ते की रात को जो है पता लगा कि आग यहाँ पे लगी है। हमारे कंट्रोल edhi 115 में इतला आई कि गुल प्लाजा में आग लग गई। तो हमारी रेस्क्यू टीमें यहाँ पे पहुँची। तो हम लोग जो है हफ्ते की रात से ही यहाँ पर हैं और स्टिल अभी तक यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं। और सूरत हाल ये है कि जैसे बताया जा रहा है कि एक दुकान के अंदर आग लगी और ये फिर वक्तन फ़वक्तन पूरी मार्केट को इसने लपेट में ले लिया। हम अगर ऑफिशियली रिपोर्ट देखें तो 25 आ रही है, अनऑफिशियली तो 30 से अबव भी बता रहे हैं। मगर ऑफिशियली रिपोर्ट जो है, हमारा एक पूरा सिस्टम है जिसमें CPLC हमारे साथ इन्वॉल्व है, ठीक है, और सरकारी इदारे हमारे साथ इन्वॉल्व हैं। तो हम लोग जो है मतलब कि बॉडीज़ जो हमारे पास अभी कुल तादाद आई है वो 25 है। अभी जब आप इंटरव्यू कर रही हैं, इसके बाद का कोई पता नहीं, कोई बॉडी शनाख्त के काबिल नहीं है। सब तकरीबन बॉडियां जो है मुकम्मल तौर पे जल चुकी हैं और ये DNA पे ही जाएंगी। कुछ बॉडीज़ जो हैं वो कंप्लीट हैं और कुछ बॉडीज़ के पार्ट्स हैं। अब वो जाहिर बात है, वो जो इदारे हैं वो उन पार्ट्स को जमा करेंगे। एक मराहिल है, आपको पता है, सिस्टम है पूरा। सैंपल लेने के बाद गवर्नमेंट भी ये कहती है कि 1 हफ्ते के अंदर रिज़ल्ट आएगा, मगर 1 से 1.5 हफ्ता लग जाता है इसको रिज़ल्ट आने में। कंप्लीट रिज़ल्ट आने में 1 से 1.5 हफ्ता लग जाता है। मैं ये कहूँगा ये कोऑर्डिनेशन की कमी है। वसाइल हैं हमारे पास, मगर वसाइल जो हैं हम बरूए कार नहीं लेकर, यानी कि हमने जिस महकमे को फौरी तौर पे एक्टिव करना है वो महकमा सबसे लेट आ रहा है। बस यही वजह है, कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं है हमारा कोऑर्डिनेशन हो, आपस में कोऑर्डिनेशन हो तो कुछ भी जो है ना वो ऐसा वो नहीं है कि भी हम किसी भी जो है ना चीज़ को हम अचीव ना कर सकें।
The Gul Plaza fire feels personal to most Karachiites. It also exposes the systematic problem that plagued this city of over 25 million people.
By the time the first fire tenders started reaching from Lawrence Road, Bolton Market, Sadar, etc., there were huge rush outside Gul Plaza. There were shopkeepers from Gul Plaza itself, shopkeepers and onlookers from other shopping centers in that area, and also the local residents. They were literally mobbing the place. If there was anything left, the roads were clogged by ambulances sent by various Chipa, Edhi, etc., etc. Every ambulance center had sent their ambulances to the location. Unfortunately, I don't know if you've been there, Bandar Road or Jinnah Road lies dig up in front of Gul Plaza. So there was no access from that side. So it was a very pathetic situation. And once the fire tenders started to arrive, they were literally attacked by the firemen, and the drivers were attacked by the mob for the delay. Okay. Gul Plaza was more than a confined space. As I explained to you, the doors were locked. There were barely a dozen exits in any case. 1,200 shops. That means at least 20 to 2,400 shopkeepers and their assistants, if not more. And if we take only 10 or 20% of that number as shopkeepers that means another 500 people. So you're looking at minimum of 3,000 people trapped inside. Now for 3,000 people, I mean, because it was felt that it was electrical fire, everybody was asked to shut down their meters or electricity. So there was no light inside. And as you know, our these incrementally developed shopping centers like Zena Market, as like Cooperative Market, and so many others, it was a maze of for people to get out. Okay. And while there was smoke and gases, there was no light. People had no idea where to get out from. Okay, which door is open, which is not. I mean, I dare you to go and ask simple technical questions. Confront the provincial minister, provincial secretary, the mayor, the nazims, the chairmen. Ask them about very simple, basic things. About roads, about fire, if there is an electrical fire, you can't spray water on electricity. Until unless electricity has been disconnected from the pole-mounted from the poles outside. If you spray water on electricity, you'll electrocute people as well. So there is something called foam. You use foam. And there is something called dry powder. So where should these powders, these foams be used? When should water be used? There's no training. There is no, they simply won't have foam. They simply won't have fire suppressant powder.
Every year, it records nearly 3,000 fire incidents. Officials say that 70 to 80% of buildings in Karachi lack basic fire safety system. An official survey found that out of 266 buildings on major roads such as II Chandigarh Road and Charai Faisal, only 6 were compliant with the fire safety rules. On II Chandigarh Road alone, 70% of the buildings have no fire exits. It has been over a year of these findings and no action has been taken yet.
What happens when you have a fire like this? The first casualty is not people, it's the oxygen, because the fire consumes the available oxygen in this confined area. So first, they suffocate because of lack of oxygen. Fire turns plastics, hydrocarbons, cardboard boxes, textiles into carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and all kind of gases. Instead of oxygen, now you are inhaling these toxic gases. Okay, so you're passing out, and then fire itself. Also, the reinforced concrete, meaning concrete and steel, is usually can stand temperatures up to 250 to 300 degrees centigrade. It starts to soften up at that. And if the temperatures, internal temperatures reaches 500 degrees Celsius, these structures start to collapse. So, and that is why you see so I'm not saying that the structure was not built poorly. It must have been, okay, but it probably was. But also it tells you to what degree the internal temperature got in Gul Plaza went up to. You are not looking at people getting burned. You are looking at people getting incinerated. That is why they are having tough time finding bodies, etc. Karachi is part of province of Sindh. In Sindh, as a province, and Karachi being its capital city, Tughlaq House and Ziauddin Road being parts of Karachi, the Chief Minister of Sindh leads all the good and the bad decisions in Karachi, in my mind. His cabinet is handpicked. Okay, he picks up people for his ministers, for secretaries, provincial secretaries, etc., etc. Pakistan People's Party has nominated and gotten elected Murtaza Wahab as the mayor. Okay, so at the end of the day, it starts with the chief minister. Luckily or unluckily, we have a chief minister who's a civil engineering graduate from NED University. He was a silver medalist. I mean, even though he was son of the sitting chief minister at that, but rightly or wrongly, he's the silver medalist from NED. He went to Stanford University for a master's in structural engineering on Jinnah scholarship. Another master's, courtesy another scholarship, he acquired was in financial models and financial management. So when you have somebody like that at the helm of affairs, that means he or she doesn't lack understanding of these issues. Okay, the double masters, that too from Stanford. I mean, you're educated. So if you see any fault in province, it starts from him. And if anybody should be held accountable, it should be him. Because for last 10 years, on and off, he has been the chief minister of Sindh since 2016. So then you come down, he's the leader of the ruling party in the provincial assembly. So there is no dearth of laws that he can help formulate. Fire safety audit. Why do we conduct fire safety audit? You may not know. He may not know. I may not know. But he has to understand. When you conduct a fire safety audit of any building, you see what is the area, what are the exits, what type of materials are available. If it's an office building, then you have, benches and chairs and tables, computers, etc. But you have a market like Gul Plaza or factory. If you recall, there was a fire in the Baldia factory. There are textiles, there are cotton textiles, polyester. There are packing materials, which are all hydrocarbons, plastics. You have cardboard boxes, you have wooden pallets, you have all. So these are highly flammable materials. So if there is lots of highly flammable materials, there have to be many more exits than a common building. Now, if there are many exits, but at 10 o'clock, 3,000 people are inside and 13 out of 14 gates have been locked. That's cannot be. So if there is a fire safety audit and this is conducted. Now, as I said, you or I may not know about these things, but educated people who have been in the governance setup for not last 10 years, since 2008, when Murad Ali Shah was the finance minister. You cannot say it's somebody else responsible, because it was your job to make sure that at every tier, at the provincial government level, at the local government level, at the towns level, at the UCs level, what kind of readiness paradigm you need. So, I mean, everyone can be held responsible, but definitely some share more than the others.
To put things into perspective, fire safety is divided between three bodies. First, the city government, that is Karachi Metropolitan Corporation or KMC, led by Mayor Murtaza Wahab. The second body is the Sindh Building and Control Authority, which comes under the provincial and not local government and is responsible for building approvals. And the last is the Sindh government, which sets the policy. Fire safety at the mall was not the only issue. There is another problem. The city of over 25 million people has 28 fire stations. Experts say that it needs at least 200. On most days, fewer than 50 fire engines are operational, and then there should have been more than 300.
देखिए, एक्चुअल एज पर स्टैंडर्ड, जो स्टैंडर्ड है वो तो ये है कि 1 लाख की आबादी पर एक फायर स्टेशन होना चाहिए. उस हिसाब से कराची 4 करोड़ की आबादी से तजाविज़ कर चुका है. इस हिसाब से 400 फायर स्टेशन होना चाहिए. लेकिन इसके बावजूद इस वक्त हम 29 फायर स्टेशन के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं. वो 29 फायर स्टेशन कराची के हर साने हाथ में खड़ा हुआ और नबर आजमा है. ऐसा हुआ है माजी में कि एक वक्त 3 मेजर फायर हुई हैं और हमने तीनों को कंट्रोल करा है अपने ही रिसोर्सेज से. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें बाहर से मदद लेनी पड़ी हो. हाँ, अलबत्ता हमारे साथ KPT, नेवी या ये जो कराची के इदारे हैं, ये हमारे साथ पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं उन इंसिडेंट में, तो हमें एक अच्छा सपोर्ट मिल जाता है.
Mumbai Fire Brigade operates over 35 major and 19 small fire stations. Dhaka has 112 fire stations and Tehran has 129.
First of all, we are in month of January. So these winter months are relatively dry months. And because there's low humidity and the wood and the boxes, everything is rather in a dry state, they burn more easily, more aggressively. Okay, so there's a difference why more fires happen in winter months than in summers. There's a rule of thumb for a third world Afro-Asian country. City like Karachi should have at least one fire station for a population of 100,000 people. So if you're looking at 30 million population of Karachi, so you should have at least 300 fire stations. Fire station is a building, but a fire station, there is a minimum number of fire tenders at a fire station that makes fire station a fire station. We're talking about 28 stations. There should be at least 4 to 6 fire tenders and allied vehicles at a fire station to qualify itself for a fire station. We don't have. At best, we have, they will tell you there are 2 fire tenders at each of these or 3 or rubbish. At best of times, you will have maximum of 1 fire tender serviceable at a fire station. This is a historical fact that because we don't have, the city is not built of wood like in Japan or in US, etc., etc. So our buildings are built of concrete or lime plaster, etc. So chances of fire taking place are relatively low. Okay, that doesn't mean you can exclude them. But so, I mean, if you're looking at 100,000, divide 30 million by 100,000, multiply that number with 4, you get at least 400 fire tenders needed in the city. Okay. Also, out of these 28, 29 fire stations, only 11 have in-house or overhead water tanks, water connection, so that the fire tenders can fill themselves up with water. Okay. At Gul Plaza, the fire tenders, after offloading their water load, had to drive all the way to Nipa to refill themselves. Now, Karachi is known for a city under siege of tanker mafia. If there was any governance, if there was any leadership in this city, there would have been at least 200 water bowsers filled with water stationed right outside or close to Gul Plaza that night. Nothing of that sort. It tells you how poor, how city leadership is in dire or poor state of affairs. Shortage of equipment is one. Then the second one is ghost employees. I mean, every officer in the city, may it be KMC or Government of Sindh, they need a driver or a chowkidar or a domestic servant. Fire brigade is the first one that ends up losing its employees. If there is any room there, then the in charges take money, half the salary, and let these people go. 15,000 goes into the 20,000 rupees goes into the pocket of the fire station in charge, and the crew, the manpower is left to do work at Sabzi Mandi or ride for Food Panda or whatever. Okay. So these are multiple issues.
At Gul Plaza, the fire was eventually put out, but it has yet again raised some serious questions about the systematic issues the city faces.
On the register of Sindh government in Karachi, you will find there are at least 300 or 400 such humongous vehicles, which each of them may cost anywhere between 5 to 12 crore rupees. And the poor fire tender costs what? 10 million? Crore, 1.5 crore, 2.5 crores, 2 crores. So, misplaced priorities, complete lack of knowledge, understanding, and sheer carelessness is what results in incidents like what has happened at Gul Plaza, or what happened in Millennium Mall, or what happened in Baldia Fire Factory. We are not prepared for, forget about fire, even a small emergency. We're simply not. We have outsourced ambulance services to Chipa, Edhi, etc., etc. So many of them. We have outsourced medical to Indus, to SIUT, to Ziauddin, to Aga Khan. You know, problem is not our preparedness. Problem is the focus or interest of the ruling elite of this city, of this province, of this country, which lies somewhere else. I mean, they are more interested in getting permanent residence or passport in Portugal, in Canada, USA, England, etc., than focusing on people of Karachi. People of Karachi are no one's priority. No one really cares. Being in government doesn't mean there is a sense of responsibility. It's a iron ore, no, sorry, gold ore. Okay, Karachi is a cash cow. Karachi is not a priority. People of Karachi don't feature in the equation of our ruling elite.
For more such explainers, subscribe to Dawn News English.